Welcome back to day 43 of our 145-day grammar challenge. Today, we are looking at a specific hurdle in English grammar, using the passive voice with complex verb structures. Stacking modals or perfect tenses onto the passive voice often feels like adding too many moving parts. However, these longer verb strings follow a set of rigid, predictable patterns that become clear once we isolate the components. Let's recall the baseline logic of the passive voice before we expand it. We use it when we want to focus on the action and the receiver rather than the person doing it. We take an active thought, like somebody cleans the room, and bring the receiver forward to create the room is cleaned. In a few moments, our verb formulas are going to get much longer, but keep this visual in mind. No matter how many extra verbs we add, the core principle is identical. The doer of the action drops completely out of the frame. Let's apply that logic to modals. Looking at section A of our text, we see what happens when we introduce a word like will, must, or can. The active sentence, somebody will clean this room, becomes this room will be cleaned. This gives us our first complex formula. To build an infinitive passive, you need three specific blocks: your modal verb, the base verb be, and finally your past participle, like done or cleaned. Now let's look at section B. If we need to talk about a modal action in the past, we use the perfect infinitive. The active thought, somebody should have cleaned the room, becomes the room should have been cleaned. And if we glance down at section C, you can see that standard present perfect and past perfect tenses follow that exact same pattern. They rely on have been, has been, or had been, followed by the past participle. This brings us to the most common mistake learners make. When dealing with these perfect structures, people frequently accidentally drop the word been, writing something like, the room should have cleaned. By skipping that single word, you revert the sentence back to the active voice. Grammatically, you are stating that the physical walls and floor of the room sprouted arms and grabbed a broom to clean themselves. Inserting been shifts the weight back to the object. It ensures the room remains the receiver of the action, maintaining the passive structure, even as the verb string grows. Finally, look at section D. When an action is happening right now, or was continuously happening in the past, we use the continuous passive. Somebody is cleaning the room shifts to the room is being cleaned. Notice the direct transfer of the suffix here. The ing from the active verb attaches itself to the passive helper verb, creating the word being. We use been for actions that are perfect or finished. We use being for actions that are ongoing. Let's apply this. Look at this exercise. I want you to pause the video, look at the blank space in number 3, and determine the passive form of the verb make using the modal will not. The answer is be made. Because we are following a modal verb, we use our infinitive formula, modal plus be plus the past participle. Let's do one more. Drop down to the first item in the next section. Pause the video again. Using the subject we and the verb follow, build a present continuous passive sentence to show there is someone behind us right now. The correct construction is we're being followed. When you encounter these longer sentences, isolate the pieces, identify your subject, choose the correct helper block, and conclude with the past participle. You now have the formulas required to identify and build any passive sentence, regardless of how complex the tense becomes. To help you retain these patterns, here is a summary matrix of the 4 structures we mapped out today. Go ahead and take a screenshot of this for your notes. Your challenge for today is to use one of these structures in practice. Pause the video, write one original sentence using the perfect infinitive, that is the modal plus have been done formula, and post it down in the comments so I can check your work. Congratulations on completing day 43. Drop a like on the video, make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you right back here for day 40.